Today is December 13th, 2023. My name is Joe Reingold, the interviewer, and I'm here with Terri Mann. Good morning. Good afternoon, Terri. How are you? Thank you for being here. Tell us a little bit about your family history, what you know of your grandparents, your parents, where they lived, where they grew up, etc., what kind of work they did.
Okay, so my mother and her sister were born in Dallas. My maternal grandmother was born on the ship coming to the USA, is what the reports said. And my maternal grandfather was born in Poland. I'm still checking on my paternal grandmother and grandfather, maybe Belarus, somewhere in Germany, you know.
Okay.
But I'm looking for a genealogy piece of paper that I'm not finding, so hopefully more will be revealed when I find that.
Okay. So tell me, how did they get here? And where were your parents born and raised?
Well, my mother was born in Dallas, and her sister, and a lot of my relatives live here and did. And my father was born in Cincinnati, Ohio, but his father was asthmatic, and the doctor told him to go to the desert. So they went to El Paso.
That's the desert. And how long did they live there?
Oh, well, they both died in El Paso. Both my mother and father died in El Paso, so, yeah. They were buried in Dallas, but they lived there a long time. I don't know exactly, I'd have to.
So where were you born and raised?
I was born and raised in El Paso.
Okay, all right. And what was life like there? What kind of childhood memories do you have that were good ones? Or whatever, childhood memories.
Well, a lot of the neighbors were Jewish, but some weren't, and they were against us Jews, evidently, we think, because my brother's dog was poisoned, and we don't, you know, who knows? We suspected them, but some of the neighbors who weren't Jewish didn't want their children playing with those of us. But I guess most of the neighbors right nearby were Jewish. They were all Jewish. It was the ones that lived a little further away that weren't Jewish. And I was told I learned Spanish, to speak Spanish before English, because my mother had a helper from Mexico. So we spoke Spanish, which has served me well.
Yes, yeah, wonderful. What kind of things were your favorite activities growing up?
Well, I like to dance, and I still like to dance. So dancing and going to dances and music and playing with my friends, going to the movies, music.
Did you feel, well, you said you had some incidents of non-Jewish people perhaps, but I was going to say overall, what was the Jewish community like there? And were you involved, were your parents involved in it?
Yes, my parents belonged to the temple, which was Reform. My mother was raised more conservative Orthodox, but when she married my father, his family belonged to the Reform in El Paso.
So it was a mixed marriage.
So I grew up at the temple and would go to the Swifty, the conventions, and I went to camp, Saratoga in California, and I was involved in the temple youth, confirmed there and everything.
Did you say, do you have siblings? Did you have siblings?
My brother was the oldest, and then I had an older sister, 3 years older than I am, and I still have a younger sister, 3 years younger. So there were 4 of us.
Did they stay in El Paso for the most part after high school?
Well, my brother did. Of course, he went away to college, but then came back to El Paso. And my older sister, no, she moved to Switzerland, to Geneva.
Oh, wow.
First to London, and then my younger sister moved to Colorado. And so, and I lived in Dallas, this area, and didn't. And so we all left El Paso.
So tell me a little bit about your journey to Dallas, about when that was and why you came here.
Well, I went to school. I started at UT Austin, And my mother didn't, must have told her, I don't remember, that I wanted to be a nurse. And she didn't like that idea because she had visions of me cleaning bedpans. So she wanted me to be a teacher. So I studied education in Austin, but
Not for you?
not for me. So I moved to Dallas and worked some in Dallas, and then went to nursing school in Dallas.
What school were you at? Which college?
Texas Women's University.
Oh, okay. And you finished there?
I finished my bachelor's in nursing, and then I completed a master's in nursing at Texas Women's.
Okay. And then what happened with your life? Did you get a job and stay here?
Yes, I worked in nursing. No, actually, I worked here for a while in psychiatric nursing, and then I moved to Israel. So I went to the Ulpan in Ashdod and learned some Hebrew, and lived in Israel about 2 years.
Wow, that must have been a good experience.
Worked in hospital.
Mhm.
And,
Where did you work there? I'm just curious. Which place?
I worked in Sfat, some in Tel Aviv at the hospital there.
Okay. That must have been a very interesting experience.
Yes, it
What possessed you to move to Israel and do that?
Well, I had heard that they needed nurses, wanted nurses to come there, and my cousin's husband's a physician. I think he might have told me about it, and I was adventuresome, so had no ties, so I moved,
Okay.
and then came
So-
back to Dallas.
So after 2 years, you were back here. Had the city changed at all?
Oh, probably, but I didn't. I wasn't noticing too much of the change. I was interested in getting a job and going forward, so I didn't particularly I wasn't looking for changes.
Okay. So I understand you're married. How and when did you meet your husband?
So I met my husband. This is my second husband.
Ah,
Yeah, I
okay.
met him in 1981 at a Jewish singles here in Dallas, and he's a Holocaust survivor. And so, yeah, we met, like I said, at a Jewish singles party here in Dallas.
That was your second husband?
Yes.
What about your first husband?
Well, I'm trying to, I don't remember the dates exactly when I was, maybe before 75, so yeah. But I was married about three years.
So you met your second husband at a Jewish singles party. That's wonderful. And what did you two do together? What kind of things did you join, either separately or together? What did you join or what did you get involved in at that point?
Well, we got involved in the temple activities because he had pretty much been away from Jewish life for the time he was married previously. So he was wanting to re-enter Jewish life. So we would go to different lectures or classes for Jewish life, and would go dancing and activities like that. We both like the outdoors, the vitamin in for nature.
Were you both working at that time?
Yes, my husband is a biochemist, and was a professor in Denton at the University of North Texas before they moved to Fort Worth. The Health Science Center moved to Fort Worth, and I was working as a nurse
Oh.
in oncology.
Can you think of anything in your experiences that you're especially proud of?
Well, going to Israel and then pursuing my passion for hospice nursing. I became a hospice nurse,
Okay.
so that was very rewarding and lots of experiences.
How many years did you put in for that? Were you working as a hospice nurse?
Over 10 years.
Okay. Is that what you retired from?
Yes. And now I'm a hospice volunteer here at Legacy.
Oh, wonderful.
So,
So how long, well, where were you and your second husband living?
at
the time.
When we got married, we were living in Denton because that's where his office was. But then they moved the labs and the science to Fort Worth. the Health Science Center, University of North Texas. So
So
we moved to Fort Worth.
Okay. And then how did you get back here?
Well, we lived in Fort Worth till we moved to Legacy. So we moved here to Legacy in October of 21.
You were newcomers to this place. It was very new at that point,
Yeah,
right?
there were other people
Yeah,
here, but it was
yeah.
pretty new.
Yeah.
Yes.
What made you, it's a tough decision sometimes. What made you decide to give up a private home or where you were living and to come here?
Well, my stepchildren live here, and I have a nephew who lives here, and other family, actually quite a few relatives that I'm finding that I didn't even know. So a lot of family here in Dallas, and I had looked into knowing that Legacy has a assisted living and then memory care, so I thought that would be
Yeah.
a good idea.
If you needed it or somebody, yeah. Right, that's right. Through the years, can you think of someone who might have been one of your mentors, someone you really looked up to?
Well, my mother's sister, my aunt, I was very close to my aunt, looked up to her.
What did she do that inspired you? What kind of things?
Well, it was more the way she treated me. She was just very kind and loving, sympathetic and understanding.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Was she a nurse also?
No.
It sounds like she might have been. That caring, profession, but yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, what hobbies have you gained through the years or any interests that you might have?
Well, I still love dancing. I haven't lost that one. And I like the different activities here, the art, the jewelry making, the different classes, the world religion classes, and just learning new things, the exercise classes.
You said you have quite a bit of family and you're finding more family here. Who all lives in this area near you, not too far from you? And also, how has your family grown through the years?
Well, the relatives I'm related to, which is a large family, are the Rachofskis, the Rays. So now I found out that I'm related to Andrea Statman somehow. And as I say, the Rays and my grandmother who moved here she was a whiner. So on the piece of paper where we took the historical tour, both the Rachofsky home and the Weiner home are listed on there.
Yeah, that's right.
So maybe that's how my grandmother and grandfather met. So a lot of the Weiner family still lives here. There were like 7 girls. And then Jacob Weiner was involved in that Aguda Sahim, the congregation. I think that's how you say it. Yeah.
Very good. Well, you've had some wonderful journeys. Any regrets about coming to Dallas at all?
No, I like Dallas. I don't like driving in Dallas. I don't like the traffic. But
Nobody likes the traffic here. I was just going to ask you, besides the traffic, when you first moved here until now, how have you seen the city change? Traffic, yes, but besides that, anything else that you've seen?
no, I can't think at the moment. I haven't noticed, looked for,
No?
maybe I'll think of it right after,
It's okay.
right after we say goodbye.
That's all right. Is there anything else you'd like to add before
Well,
we close?
some of my other family is, my nephew married Ann Appleman, so I have new family. Her parents live in Fort Worth, but I think she had some family living in Dallas. Her
Okay.
grandmother.
Yeah, the two cities are pretty close. They're intertwined in many ways.
Yes.
Especially the Jewish population. Right. Okay. Well, that's wonderful, and I appreciate you interviewing with me. It's been delightful. And
Thank
I'm
you.
sure you will continue to love living here at the Legacy.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank
Yes,
you.
I plan to continue
Yes.
this when I get more information.
Good. Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.